Hi everyone, so yesterday Jeffree Star broke his silence, his like 2-week silence, by posting a video called Doing What's Right, and it was this dramatic ass thumbnail like The only way you probably don't know about this is if you're living under a rock, because everyone is talking about this and nobody is happy. Like, he has his core fans that are gonna forgive him for anything. You know, they subscribe to him because they knew his problematic behavior, so for them, they'll never care about anything. And don't care about him actually holding himself accountable, so he'll always have that core audience, but he's getting a lot of backlash. And now for Jeffree Star, getting backlash is... oof. This man gets away with everything and he never has any repercussions of making these videos, and this is the first one that's getting a shit ton of dislikes. People are not happy. In the video, he's sitting down on this gold sofa. He's really small in the frame and there's the big staircase behind him, and humble yourself a little bit if you're gonna do your apology, like taking accountability video, like you're doing it in front of this setting. Because we all know that he couldn't have just sat in front of a white, black, grey wall, whatever. Just a plain background and done this video. No, he needs to show us that he still has money. You know what, Jeffree? Well done. I wanted to do a thing where I rated his video. So I asked my subscribers for help. I asked them what their rating of his video is and what their opinion is of it. Then I'll say my own, and we'll kind of get an overall rating for this Doing What's Right video. Haley said 0 out of 10. He didn't address anything, and then started promoting his brand. Like, for real? Come on, Jeffree. Yeah, that was pretty low, even for his standard. Sandstorm said, okay, aside from his terrible excuse for an apology video, yeah, that's literally what it is, why is he sitting so far away? Is this a sofa ad? He looks like a little scary haunted doll that's been awakened and starts talking to us. I can't. A little, like, haunted doll. Oh my god. Leah said, made excuses for everything, said he's never blackmailed anyone, clown emojis, and advertised his makeup line. Who the F does that in an apology video? And yeah, that was so scummy. Victoria said, same as every other apology he's done. Yes, I did it, I'm sorry, that is the past, I'm moving on, that's the old Jeffree, and now... ooh, if you know anything about me, I hate whenever these YouTubers don't take accountability because they say, oh yeah, that was the old me, that was the old Shane, that was the old Jeffree, like that's not me, I'm a new person, that's the old me. That is you! You're the same person as you are when you were the older version. What's not clicking? Daniela said, Jeffree is literally the virus of the beauty community, he's so toxic and dangerous. No Name said, I give it a Jeffree out of 10, which is even worse than a 0. This wasn't even an apology, it was him trying to make himself look as a new person to open a new chapter in his life. And each chapter gets worse than the previous one. Plus, he addressed basically nothing, and someone commented on my video and it made me laugh so hard. They said, another chapter? How long is this damn book? Rose Petal said, my rating is 0 out of 10, he's a narcissistic demon. Lauren said, it just feels like he's dodging the issues. Again. Camille said, Mr. Sillybands barely addressed anything and was trying his best to manipulate his audience as per usual. Also, he was acting like since last year he hasn't done anything to add to the drama, yet what about when he was showing Blair and Banks the video about James, yeah, the voicemail, which was this year. This year, Jeffree. Quartz said, he is not genuine at all. This seems so rehearsed, and at the end of the day, he did participate in what happened. Yeah, and he didn't take any accountability. The Best Child said, it feels like more of a video to improve his image rather than an actual apology video. For instance, the plugging of his merch to come and it overall being a big deal makes it sound insincere. It's an attempt at an apology, but not a very good one. 2.5 out of 10. Wow, that's generous. You gave it 2.5. Tiana said, minus 1,000 out of 10. It was trash. He didn't address the real crap that was needed to be addressed. Yeah, and he took all that time of self-reflecting and this is the best he could do. This was the best you could do. And it's offensive that he thought a 10-minute video, 85% of which he spent talking about his brand, would suffice in speaking on what he needed to speak on. Also, never once did he say he was sorry except for James Charles. Anyone and everyone who chooses to still support him after this is just blatantly ignorant and idiotic. He's an effed up person who is money and power driven and doesn't truly care. That's why he and Shane get along so well. They don't care that they've hurt people, because if they did, not only would their videos have been longer due to addressing everything, yeah, they would then tell us how they plan on doing better and sticking to their words and actually do better. They just care about their income and how that's being threatened and people are no longer under their little spell. The entire part of Jeffree's video where he talks about Shane too is so smug because he goes, and Shane Dawson. Oh, I love Shane Dawson. Like, it is so... oh my god, no. Like, the stuff Shane has been accused of and the stuff Jeffree's been accused of, you would think he'd be smarter than to be Shane Dawson, no, it's all flowers and roses and... Emo said, well, with his new launch in August, he's trying to sell everything, which is why he made the apology so people would forgive him and buy the stuff. And you know what? A lot of people are not accepting this at all. And also, a lot of the stuff that he's meant to be apologizing for, us white people can't accept that. We can't accept that apology, you know what I mean? Angelina said he didn't address anything we wanted him to except for apologizing to James Charles. He really beat around the bush. Also, I love how you disliked it. Yes, I'm guilty, I disliked his video. Niall said you could tell the video was going to be bad from the title alone. Doing what's right, LMAO, as if he's capable of that. And I remember what happened was I had just filmed a video and I was about to edit it. My friend Will texted me and it was Jeffree's video and he was like, oh my god. And I remember going, oh my god, my god. So I searched up Jeffree's name and it came up on YouTube and it was a 10-minute long video and I was like, no. Before watching it, I knew it was not going to be good because the stuff that he has to address cannot be done within 10 minutes. And he addresses, doing that, stuff up until 5 minutes. Then talks about Shane Dawson, Black Lives Matter, and his brand. No! Amani said his very brief comment on racial injustice happening in the country and even pronouncing Elijah's name incorrectly. And if you watch his video, it's very clear that when he says Elijah's name, he says it wrong in the first take and he does a voiceover saying the name again. Because the audio levels are so different. Jeffree, oh my god, people were like, did he literally just search up on Google like the names of people who were so awfully wronged by the system? I was like, I'm just gonna include this in my video. Disgusting. You're disgusting. Jeffree, you're not genuine at all. At all. It's the equivalent to posting a black square on Instagram then doing absolutely nothing else. This man deserves to be cancelled, if not more than Shane. -10 for the post apology thumbnail. Yeah, the doing what's right. Jeffree, if you cared about the Black Lives Matter movement and you spend a whole chunk of your apology taking accountability video talking about it, why have you not linked anything? Why have you not linked donations, petitions, anything? Your video is getting millions of views. Do you know the impact you would have had? Do you realize your comeback video, this is your comeback video, millions of views, you talk about it, yet you don't do anything further. No links, nothing in the description, not even a comment about it. You brought it up to save face and direct the conversation. And you know what, Jeffree, it's not working because everyone sees through you. You're the problem that you're talking about. Even if you weren't going to put donation and petition links in your description or whatever out of the good of your heart, that doesn't matter because it was going to be exposed to like 8 million people. So a lot of people would be getting the exposure of seeing these links and stuff. So even if you weren't doing it from the good of your heart and just doing it to save face, which you didn't do, it doesn't even matter because at least the links are getting that attention. But you know what? You didn't even do that. You just talked about it so that you could direct the conversation. You're a piece of trash. Katie said, -10 out of 10. The Joker and Sad Man can stay off the internet for good this time. The non-apology was the same recycled BS from last year's one, just so he can go back to selling pallets. Yawn. Lucy said, didn't seem genuine at all, and it just seems like he was promoting his brand and deflecting rather than owning up to his own shit. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Nope said, not worth a rating when he didn't even address anything that went down. He's really trying to make that cash for his next launch. You know what, Jeffree? We don't care about your next launch. Blue Who said 11 out of 10 because I played a drinking game of things I knew he'd say and got drunk AF. Fofo said the whole video was him saving his ass with James shading Taddy using BLM and then a stupid promo for his clown merch. I don't even call this an apology, he's just trying to control the damage before a future launch, but he obviously failed. Jasmine said 3 moldy lip glosses out of 10. You were bad for that. M said Jeffree's been working on himself for the past 5 years. He's almost 40 years old. Jesus, I'm glad people are starting to finally see his actions. Yeah. I said screw him, he's what we call an optical ally, which is when someone attempts to show surface level support of a cause, people, and doesn't do anything deeper than that. Example, he didn't even put links for the charities. He used Black Lives Matter as an excuse for so many things happening in the world right now. He's trying to distract us from what he's done by focusing on other events. And we all see through it. Corey said 0 out of 10. He recycled the same apology he shitted out last year. Lucas said expired foundation out of 10. Yoongi said how many chapters is he starting again? I've lost count. Literally. Milani said 0 out of 10. The only reason he came out with a video is because he's releasing new stuff in August. And he needs to start posting again to promote it. He also said Elijah's name wrong. Mordem said 0 out of 10. There's no excuse when you have such a big platform as Jeffree. He should have known what kind of power his voice holds against everyone. You know what he does? That's why he uses it against them. In 2 years, we're gonna get another one of these videos. The first one was called Racism. Second one was called Never Doing This Again. This one's called Doing What's Right. What's the next one gonna be next year called? Place your bets down below. Frankenfurterstan said 10 out of 10 exactly what I expected from Jafar Starfish. 1. He didn't directly apologize. 2. He brought up a movement he didn't fully understand. And 3. Promoted his next makeup launch. Which, come on, we all expected him to do this. Victoria said, Jeffree, I'm taking accountability. Also Jeffree, I said dumb shit, deal with it. Literally. Black Lives Matter said 1 out of 10. He was sitting there like he couldn't even be bothered to dress for it and had his dirty socks on. He basically used the my friends blacks white can't be racist card and brought the misjustices and the Black Lives Matter movement to gaslight everyone like it ain't a trend, Jeffree. Nicole said 0 out of 10. Do not recommend watching, especially if you're black and want to avoid his fake care. Taddy said 0 out of 10, obviously because his bullshit attempt was manipulating us. Mentioning Black Lives Matter was done because his video was monetized and he's not donating revenue. Second, the crushed velvet sofa and head-to-toe Louis Vuitton outfit alone could probably pay for the bail funds of LA. Yeah, and that outfit was such a weird pick for that video as well. Like, he couldn't have just wore a white t-shirt or something. No, he had to be wearing Louis Vuitton and this really expensive sofa. Yeah, he had to show us that, you know what, I'm unaffected. The Gecko said -20. It's a rehash attempt at previous idiotic apologies he's done. Same old shit. Eli said -1,000 out of 5. Shifted the view to Black Lives Matter while preaching all beauty matters, saying Elijah's name wrong and not putting any petitions in the description, and 2, saying he was speaking for himself, then goes on to defend Shane and much more. This was the worst one yet. ACAB, a harsh 0. He didn't apologize for anything and just deflected the whole time. Kryda said 1 out of 10 for the sincerity and intention, but 10 out of 10 for the manipulation skills. The video isn't for the ones who want answers with evidence that was shown and given. It's for his oblivious and clueless fans that need something to justify their inner thoughts about enabling him. And that's the truth. Lucas said 0 out of 10. It was 10 minutes of nothing. Jen said it was so bad that it doesn't even deserve a rating. Sirdi said he didn't address anything. And when he started exploiting the Black Lives Matter cases, I puked a little in my mouth. Blugaloo said from when I saw people's rundowns of it, it's complete BS. He didn't cover half the stuff he's in trouble for, not even half of it. Any of it. Didn't clear James's name, and the fact he used the Black Lives Matter movement as a way to deflect and then not even link anything to help is disgusting. He's so gross. He's a nasty human being and I wish the worst for him. Dal said he's a waste of space. Grace said -3,000. How can you promote your channel and brand in an explanation apology video? Danny said throw it away, throw his whole channel away. I couldn't deal with this man IRL. No wonder Nate left. Oh, Tiana said -1,000 out of 10. It was trash. He didn't address the real crap that was needed to be addressed, and it's offensive that he thought a 10-minute video would suffice. SJH said obviously scripted and chose the wrong time to promote himself, but I completely agree with what everyone's saying. Layla said something that was really interesting. -10 out of 10. He has to be aware of how much he's a hypocrite. He gets to be a human and make mistakes, but if it was someone else, he would have uploaded a snap story saying about how karma's gonna get them. Like, you get to pick and choose who gets forgiven, Jeffree. And yeah, that's the thing. He directed a lot of the attention in this video to the Black Lives Matter, to Shane, to his brand. If this was an expose on any other YouTuber, he would do a 30-minute long video alone just exposing them with no other topics being brought in, no world injustices being brought in. He doesn't care about any of that. He wanted a 10-minute long video for the mid-roll ads. First 5 minutes is addressing basically nothing. Then he talks about Shane, Black Lives Matter, and his makeup brand. How are you gonna come back in your comeback video having to really apologize for stuff being like, I'm gonna be unaffected by this, like August is gonna be a great month? You are literally horrible. Horrible. Thomas said Jeffree Star's video was full of lies, manipulation, deflection, and hypocrisy for 10 minutes and 37 seconds straight. This was probably the first step to save his and Shane's career. Shane is probably filming his series about him as we speak. And it was Shane's birthday yesterday, so you know what? I'm pretty sure Shane is probably doing some filming behind the scenes. Adri said -100. As a woman of color, this man's actions hurt a lot and I don't know him personally, which says a lot because I usually will brush it off and say let karma do its thing. However, the way he speaks and holds himself is disgusting and very hurtful. He needs to leave this platform. His video was full of manipulation and gaslighting. Instead of owning up to his actions, he deflected by bringing up the Black Lives Matter movement. He hasn't changed and doesn't care about any of his fans. Campos said literally -10 out of 10. He is a whole joke. I can't believe how he would come back like that after being silent for so long. It was literally only 2 weeks. Can I correct you? Sorry. He hasn't apologized for any of his behavior nor addressed it and just promotes his launch in August. Yeah, he's literally trash. Jamie said, trash. Honestly, I can't believe he really tried to paint himself as an inclusive person in the beauty community after what he's done to women of color MEAs. The fact he has the audacity to plug his brand and pretend he cares more about Black Lives Matter than drama shows he hasn't learned and never will. This book is running out of chapters, Jeffree. Black Lives Matter said 0 out of 100. In my opinion, he just wanted to hurry and get a video out to manipulate us so that he could return to his normal life. Which is very important because he's back to posting on Snapchat and Instagram normal stories now. This video was literally just like him taking off a plaster and being like, I'm back! It doesn't work like that. No. He just wants to throw this behind him. He threw in Black Lives Matter to distract from him being a racist. Okay, y'all, there are so many, but I just want to give some ending thoughts, okay? Literally, thank y'all for sending these in. If you want to see a lot more of these, go onto my YouTube community or my Twitter and you'll read everyone else's. There were literally hundreds. Thank you. This video, honestly, I'm arguing that I can't even give it a 1 out of 10 because he apologized to James, because he didn't say what he was apologizing for. He says that he apologized to James Charles like 3 times. What are you apologizing for? That's why I can't even give you a rating for that. Video's awful, very privileged. You said you were gone from social media, yet you were liking posts on Instagram all week. You lied about a lot of stuff in that video that I won't say in this video, but anyone is aware of. Literally, people have been coming out with receipts proving how much you lied in that video. How are you gonna lie in your comeback apology taking accountability video? Because it wasn't. This was a video of you promoting your August drop. You're disgusting. And the camera zoomed out so we could see his rich house, and the fact he was wearing like Louis Vuitton. And just everything about this was disgusting. And the fact he's literally looking so relaxed in this video. Disgusting. And the fact you brought up Shane Dawson were like, I can't believe anyone would think my silence was anything but support for him. Well, he was doing a video and getting absolutely dragged by the internet, and you know what you were doing? Out buying cars for people, out meeting fans. You know what? You really didn't give a shit. Everyone, what is your opinion on Jeffree's, can I say apology video? Jeffree's video, we'll call it that. What's your opinion? Let me know, let's have a conversation below. I love you. What would you rate it out of 10? I'm literally gonna give it a 0. Don't care.